What's up, guys? So I realized that in most of my recent videos I've pretty much been giving out advice and information, and I haven't in a long time been making some of my original videos. My most popular video actually is on the same sort of thing, where I talk about the problems in my life and pretty much kind of like whine and complain about them. And I'm doing so again in this video simply because, first off, I need advice and help and feedback if you have it, and that way I can improve. And quite honestly, I have a lot of trouble with a lot of things, and I am no sort of advice guru who has reached the top of the mountain and has solved all his problems. In fact, in a lot of ways, I am right there with you in terms of shyness and problems meeting friends and just depression and sadness. So I'm not going to go too deep into this, but it's going to be my senior year of college soon, and I want you to leave comments with advice and feedback or other insight that's non-generic, if you can. And the biggest thing is, for this last year, I really want to have stuff to do. I want to be happy, and in years past I was not. I went to class, I went home alone, and then I would study in my room alone. And sure, there's always people around. There's people on my floor. There's tons of people on my floor, and I was in a lounge a lot, and there's tons of people there on my dorm floor, and there's people in class and stuff. And I would always try and reach out and talk to them and approach them and stuff, and I accomplished a lot of that, which was something I'm very proud of. But a lot of them didn't feel a connection, and it wasn't really because of any other reason than that I just didn't really have the same interests as them, and I didn't really want to be their real friends, because we just didn't click and they just weren't compatible in a lot of ways. I mean, some of them in my classes were just cold turkey, lacking in personality people who were cold and sometimes dark and just pretty much studied all day, and that was it. And I don't know, a lot of people I just don't connect with. It just seems like either that group, like there's a big Korean group who live on my floor that, again, as always, ended up just being acquaintances, and I just really never connected with them or really truly wanted to be into their group, because that seemed like a very passionate, permanent group, a sort of tight-knit group that all 50 of them were a part of. And I didn't want to be like limited to that group, because once you're in that group, not with them, and otherwise you're seen as being distant. And that's kind of what I went through. A lot of acquaintances and stuff, and a lot of people who were just sometimes just in a different realm. Like, some of them were what seemed like party goers, or people who did a lot of stuff I just didn't want to do or was interested in, like either going to parties, or some girls who were just too over exuberant and like to do stuff like what seemed like jogging and running a lot, and all these exercises and activities like Christianity club that I just didn't want to be in, and it just seemed like more of a tedious task than an enjoyment for me. And so occasionally I see people that might think, man, it'd just be really cool to be friends with them. And oftentimes it is a girl who just, I feel, just has it together. She's good looking, she's nice, she's humble, she's got interests that are just awesome for me, and it's very rare. But I don't know what it is. It's just something with their personality that I think I could connect to, and I could be potentially good friends with. And I don't really can't really decipher what it is. And if I had to, I would just say, you know, same majors, possibly same interests, and they have connections with social activities and stuff. And that's not to say that I want to go to these activities with them. It's just that I would have a good time just being around them. Like some of these people, like I'm assuming they're the type that are part of a sorority or something and go to parties and stuff, and I would not really be interested in that. But I would still, for sure, have a ball just hanging around them in the daytime, or just, you know, working out at the gym or jogging with them. It would just be very interesting. I just thought like our personalities would just be a great experience, and that's rare. And for the most part, it's just been just a lot of acquaintances in class, especially, and a lot of people just doing their own thing. They're not looking to make friends, or they're not getting out of their way to approach or anything. A lot of them seem very content with their life. It seems like they have enough friends and they're just doing their own thing. They're just looking to get good grades. They are on their own selfish course of life, oblivious to me. A lot of dudes I've seen in my classes for biology, they're just like very straight-minded. Oh, I want to get a good test on this. I want to get a good grade on this test. I want to make sure I get this assignment, and just very narrow-minded. You can be content with what they have, and me, where I'm not, is just hard to come by. And at the same time, I mean, from afar, I don't really know if these would be like great friends anyways. I mean, they just don't have a lot of interests in common. A lot of them just seem very, either like too much, like they seem like the buff, arrogant guy. Let me turn on this light. They seem like either the buff guy who just works out too much, or is just too arrogant, or maybe annoying in terms of personality. And so part of me wants to keep the acquaintance side with a lot of these people, and I feel like that's just what happens a lot of times when I've decided to try and just be myself and sort of polarize things so that this is me, and like it or not. So what happens is people just do it away, and I feel like I'm choosing this to try and filter out the people who I'll actually click with on a deep level, but at the same time it sort of rejects a lot of people personally that I just wouldn't see as more of an acquaintance anyways. So it's kind of depressing just walking. Like the main thing for me is just the whole idea of, you know, going to class alone and then coming back and then going back to my room and studying. And I've tried clubs and stuff and fraternity rushes and stuff, and I mean, I'm gonna be a senior in college, and so I don't know if that's gonna be something I'm interested in anymore. And I've gone to a lot of them, and so I really want to expand my social circle and meet people, and it's just very hard to do so. I don't really see the avenues for doing so. And through my experience, my many experiences, it seems a lot of kids are in the same boat. Maybe not that they're depressed or anything, but they're just content with life, and all they do is go to class and then come home, and they just naturally, and I guess maybe it's because they're good-looking people, or they just have better social skills, or they just through luck happen to come across a social circle they really click with, and they're just content with life. They go to class and then they just meet people and are very content with talking to them, and they're content with their comfort zone and their current social circle. And they usually, the average person at my school is either part of like 1 or 2 clubs, and that's it, and that's the only other thing they go to. And maybe they go to like parties and nightclubs and bars when they're invited to, and that's it. Me, I don't get invited to those things, and nor would I really want to go anyways. And so I don't know, I guess I just have to at least join some school clubs and hope that it's gonna be a good club. And I think that's just how it is with a lot of college students. They are part of a select few clubs that they funneled down, and other than that, they just go to school. And I mean, I don't blame them. Like, the main point of college is to educate yourself, not to get blasted at a party. And so that's what they do. They go to clubs, a few select clubs, and then maybe they're part of a sorority or fraternity. And so because frats are out for me, it's just too much time. I'm not really feeling it. I guess school clubs are what's left. And I guess what I can do is just just do what I've been saying in my videos and man the F up and just approach strangers and just be very nice and non-creepy. I feel like I've been very shy and creepy, mainly shy, not that creepy, in my past approaches, and that is why they've kind of just been turned off and tried to get away from me or not really contribute much, or just maybe I'm just not expressing my interest to be friends or really trying hard enough. And I don't know, it's hard. It's a hard life. So I'm gonna man up and maybe even just approach strangers that I would feel would be good fits, just walking around campus or during class, and hope to find friends and good looking girls and good social people to talk to. I don't know. That's why I'm making this video. I don't know. I tried. That's the best advice I can give myself. It's probably not perfect, but I don't know. So I'm making this video out there for any people. If you're watching, make this soon. I mean, make sure you check the upload date, because I mean, a year from now I'll be out of college, and the advice might still help others who are watching this video. But yeah, if you have any advice, leave it in the comments below now. Make sure it's not generic advice I've heard before, and something insightful, and it would really help me. And I'll be starting college in about half a month. So insightful, cool, unique advice would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. This has been Will, and I'm signing out.